Welcome everyone to the 7th and final day of the 2024 Crolympic Games. I think it's fair to say that our crochet competitor has been pretty bloody busy this past week, but with one event to go, will she be able to cast all distractions aside and finish strong? Teafant! Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Don't run away from me.
Well, I'm guessing that's a no.
Technically, this is a crochet project. I'm just trying to decide which pal I want to crochet. The front runners are currently Chillet and Teafant. Look at them. They're so damn cute. What's not to love about a teapot elephant? Come back. Come back. Hey, Teafant. Uh-oh. Everyone saw that Teafant attacked first. I have my yarn. The yellow is a little bit too bright for Teafant, but it's what I've got, so it's what I'm going to use. There's cat hair everywhere. Why am I surprised? My house is full of cat hair. That makes it sound like I don't clean, doesn't it? But no, I do. Anyone with pets will know that you are locked in constant battle against the pet fur. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Before I start crocheting here, I want to do a bit of a breakdown of the pieces that I'm going to need. So let's bring you in here. Alright, so we've kind of got a bowl. So Teafant's a bowl. Okay, so that is what Teafant kind of looks like. Ignore this bit. That's what happens when I don't concentrate. So I need to really make... Bloody hell. You think you press the button, but you just don't. Looks like our competitor has just set a new Crolympic record for the fastest expression of the 5 stages of grief.
It'll go nicely with her world record for most failed recording attempts.
I just realised I did that whole thing and I hadn't pressed record properly. Well, anyway, there's my Teafant that I drew. Ignore this bit. That's the bit you got to ignore. And these are the bits that I've broken it down into that I need to crochet. Bloody hell, that is so annoying. Anyway, onto crocheting. You know what? I'm just going to let that, I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to let it keep recording so I don't bugger it up again. So I'm going to start up. I've got one, I think they're partial skeins of these colours, but I have these left over as well. So I'm going to start with those. First thing I'm going to make is the ball for the body. That way I can proportion everything else to that. Where is right here? Got my hook. And I need to find the end. And I want to write down this pattern as I go because I will be making a version for my patrons over on Patreon. And that should be out in a week or so, hopefully not even that long. Although it may be even longer because it looks like it's going to take me about 3 months just to untangle this bloody yarn.
This isn't the yarn untangling event.
And unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, the full yarn untangling event will not be televised. Round 1. Damn it, I want to start with the method I learnt from the spoony stitcher. Well, that's fortuitous. I have some yellow scrap right there on my bench. I'm not beating those not cleaning allegations, am I? That works beautifully. If you're not sure what method I'm talking about, I will put a link for it down in the description. I was originally told about it by a creator called the Spoony Stitcher, and it works just brilliantly, especially if you're one of those people who doesn't like the way the chain 2 method looks when you use this chunky yarn, because it frustrates me when you get that little hole, that tiny little hole gets left. But this eliminates that entirely. Oh, hello, you can't stay. I got to crochet. I've got crocheting to do. Reason A why there's so much fur in my craft room. Reason B is asleep on my bed. You can't stay. I got to crochet. You wanna go up there? You wanna go up there? You're gonna stay there. You gotta stay there. I gotta crochet stuff. I'm gonna get down. Alright, come on, old girl. Come on, old girl. Oh, this is really not ideal, Belle. So that's where I've increased out to. I'm not going to go any larger than that because, to be honest, I'm frightened I'm going to run out of yarn. But from here, I just want to crochet down. I'm going to add the stuffing and decrease to close the piece back up. And once that's done, it'll give me a much better idea of how big or small I need to crochet the other pieces. I'm gonna have to be slightly off center because my cat will not move. But I have acquired one Teafant ball, and while I was going to make the legs next, I'm actually thinking I might make the pieces from the top down for no other reason that I want to. My brain went, here's an idea, and I was like, yeah, that works. So that's what I'm going to do. So I will get out my blue yarn because I'm probably going to make the flower piece that goes over the top first and then the flame lid, because that way I can tailor the size of the flame to the flower, because I think it's important I get the flower correct, because if I make that too large, that's then going to impact the positioning of the ears and the spout and even the eyes to a certain extent. So I want to make sure I get that right, whereas the size of the flame I don't think matters as much. Sounds perfectly logical to me, so that's what I'm going to do. Am I the only one who thinks amigurumi looks really weird up until the last moments when you finally assemble it all? I mean, look at that. There's no way you'd think that'd turn into some sort of elephant teapot. Although, to be fair, it might not. I haven't finished it yet. But I think the next piece that I want to attempt is going to be the spout or the trunk. Technically, it's both. And that way, once that's on, I'll be able to see how much room I've got to work with for the ear pieces. And we have ourselves a trunk. I'm not too thrilled with the shaping of this one. I'd like to get it a little bit curvier, but I can do that when it's time to review the pattern before I make the written version of the pattern. It's not like it's too bad. I think it just needs a bit of more of a curve towards the top of the spout here. But with that done, I can now proceed to crochet the ears. And for that, I'm going to need both my yellow and my blue yarn. Please don't fall off. So despite them being a little on the large size, I think I'm going to keep that pattern as is. I like that. Now that the ears are finished though, the next piece I'm gonna crochet is the tail. And I'm probably going to do that all as one piece. So I'll start in the blue and then switch to the yellow. And after that, all I've got to do is the legs. No, I lied. All I've got to do is the legs and the eyes. Maybe what I meant to say was all I've got left to do in the chunky yarn is the legs, because I'm gonna have to do the eyes in probably some 8-ply. I don't have the colours in the chunky yarn to make the eye, and even if I did, to be honest, I don't have the patience to make tiny fiddly bits with the chunky yarn anyway. Much rather just save myself the trouble and do it in the 8-ply from the get-go. And Teafant now has a tail. I honestly don't know if I've made this too short or too long because I can't quite remember what Teafant looks like from behind. All the images I've got up here on Google are from a more of a front view, so I can't really see the exact length of the tail, but it's not that big a deal. I'll just hop back into the game later and check out Teafant's butt, and I can determine whether this tail needs to be shortened, if it needs to be lengthened, and I'll make adjustments before I do the written pattern. For now, I'm going to continue on with the legs. That's all I have left to do in the chunky yarn. And I'm thinking at that point I might sew all these pieces together and then do the eyes, because once they're all sewn down and secured, I'll just have a better idea of how big I can make the eyes. So that is what we're going to do next. One more thing, well, technically 4 more things to go in the chunky yarn. Well, I have crocheted myself 4 chunky little legs, and now that they're done, I'm going to start assembling this thing, because like I said before, I think it'll be easier to do that first and then crochet myself the eyes. I think I'll start top down, so I might position the top of the teapot or the flower thing, whatever the hell that is called. I'll start with that and then sort of position everything in relation to that. So yeah, not much left to go with this challenge. Let's get you all put together, my little Teafant. And with the assembly in the bag, our crochet competitor successfully closed out day 7 of the Crolympic Games.
But what was the finished piece like?
There's my Teafant. Now go away. This is the first chance I've had to play the new update. Well, that was a bit rude. But we hope you enjoy the palworld update nonetheless, and we hope all of you at home have enjoyed this Crolympic game series. Roboraptor and I thank all of you for sticking with us throughout this entire week. We'll wrap things up officially tomorrow during the closing ceremony.
We hope to see you all there.
Notley and Roboraptor signing off for the final time. Goodbye and good night. And our final featured creator for these Crolympic Games is Auggie. I apologise if I pronounce that wrong, please correct me in the comments. He says, "Hi, I'm a beginner crocheter who has done many different crafts throughout their life. My page contains content about crafts I do, books I read, and stuff I'm interested in, and its languages are English and Hebrew. So if you're interested in checking out any of that stuff, all of Auggie's links will be down in the description, so will a link to a Google form if you would like to apply for the hookup for yourself. And now let's wrap this up and get back to the outro of day 7.